Hello guys and gals, welcome to this video, Roman Government Part 3. Last time we did Parts 1 and 2. This one is going to take us into more detail about magistrates, senators, assemblies, and tribunes. Let's look at our learning objective. Explain the importance of civic duty and checks and balances. This is a very important concept in political science, still very relevant today. Summary questions, you will come up with your own for both of them. Think about the learning objective to make them. Let's get right into our concept development with the concept of civic duty. Rome's government would not have worked without the participation of the people. People participated in the government because they felt it was their civic duty or their duty to the city. That civic duty included doing what they could to make sure the city prospered. For example, they were expected to attend assembly meetings and to vote in elections. Voting in Rome was a complicated process, and not everyone was allowed to do it. Those who could, however, were expected to take part in all elections. All right, let's look at what we're missing here. Felt it was their civic duty is what we're missing. And meetings and to, where are we? And to vote. Vote is the word, really? Vote in elections. Yes. All right, let's look at some words we might not know. Participated, we know that. Prosper just means that you're doing very well. And I think that's about it. All right, so let's look at our question. I think there's two questions actually. What is the definition of civic duty? The next question is, what is an example of performing civic duty? You can have to think about that one a little. All right, on to checks and balances. In addition to limiting terms of office, the Romans put other restrictions on their leaders' power. They did this by giving government officials the ability to restrict the powers of other officials. For example, one consul could block the actions of the other. Laws proposed by the Senate had to be approved by magistrates and ratified by assemblies. We call these methods to balance power checks and balances. Checks and balances keep any one part of a government from becoming stronger or more influential than the others. The ability to... I don't see that one. Okay, yeah, restrict. Yeah, restrict powers of other officials. For example, one could block. So restricting and blocking, and then I believe it's checks and balances. Yeah. All right, so and some of these words are restrictions. It's just things that you are not allowed to do. What else can we say here? We know magistrates are people who run the city. That's about it there. Okay, let's look at the questions. I think we only got one here. Why did the Romans have a system of checks and balances? Great question. Okay, for our skill development, let's see here. The Roman government relied on civic duty. Today, the United States also relies on civic duty to function. Down below, 1, we got to choose one of the following, and then 2, give your reasons why you made that choice. So here we have our sentence, and we have to fill it in. It says, if I could, I would like to vote on laws or issues. Either you could choose every day, twice a year, once a week, once a month, only once a year, or never. So remember, back in ancient Greece, they would vote often. Probably not every day, but very often, maybe once a week. This in this country we vote, I don't know, maybe once a year, probably not even that. Anyway, choose one that you think you would like to vote, how often you would like to vote, and then say why. And you should, in your paper, you should have lines in that box to the right. Just go ahead and put your answers there. Once you got that, skill development part 2. It's like a make-believe situation. It says, pretend you are in a group with a leader who makes all the decisions and doesn't let anyone else make decisions. In fact, he or she doesn't even let you speak. Think about checks and balances and write down a quick solution to this problem. Okay, so a quick solution wouldn't be to slap them or punch them in the face. Well, maybe it would, but it wouldn't be about checks and balances. So think about it. You have people, all kinds of people here. Let's just say you have about 5 people, 6 people or so. One of them does all the talking, whatever. None of these can speak. So how would you set it up? What would you do to give everybody power and to check this, right? You want to balance things. Balance like a teeter-totter. Or what's that thing that where you have that kind of thing? Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, and answer summary questions on the back. See you next time. Take care.